already. It's 6:33. Yeah, it's August 7th, right? First time back for a while. Welcome back, everyone. All right. All right, call to order. So we're gonna start this now, where everyone's good. You guys are here all for projects, so there's no public comment. We don't have any public hearings, appointments. I don't know if we want to start with the subcommittees, with the appointments of the subcommittees. What do you want to do that? Do you want to cover that in?
To you. Don't want to keep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can probably put these after if we want to try to get these guys in and out.
Let's do that.
Okay. All right, so we can move forward. We'd like to move forward, then we'll move those. We'll move the appointments till after the statutory and advisory business. So, Brett Vaughn, you want to come up? You guys want to come up and introduce yourself, sign in, and tell us what's going on. It's so cool outside, but it's so hot in here.
Yeah.
They didn't open the windows.
Gentlemen, just make sure those lights are on when you speak.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Chris Gaida. I'm a wetlands and soil scientist with Fieldstone Land Consultants, with Brett Vaughn here tonight to just kind of obtain your comments on the proposed subdivision on Wilson Hill Road. It's my understanding that this parcel was before the commission a couple of years ago, perhaps, and at that time we were requesting comments on it, and the board was looking to preferred to have a conservation subdivision or a cluster type of subdivision with, it was like 17, 18 lots. Since then, and through some reviews with the planning board, there's been some concerns by the abutters, and over time, basically at the request of the planning board, we were asked to revise it to a conventional subdivision for a number of reasons. One, to reduce the number of lots, and two, it allowed us to basically create a buffer area, if you will, is our proposal right now between the abutters on Wilson Hill Road and the lots that are proposed at the top of the hill. Can everybody hear me? Can I speak up there? Is that going to carry when the... No.
I'll pull it closer.
All right. So, there you go. There you go. So it's a 13-lot subdivision, 14 with the existing house up here, which is Mr. Vaughn's home. Essentially, the change that was made was to swing this road a little bit farther out and away from the abutters, as well as this hatched area with the dots is a proposed, not necessarily conservation area, but more of a buffer, non-developable area to allow a vegetated buffer between the abutters and the proposed subdivision, as well as just a distance type of aspect, so that the lots weren't being abutted right up there. This is going to be it's going to have public access, or not public access, but not going to be restricted to any particular person. So that's my understanding. The abutters can access the land up to the back through there. Is really the proposal, just to kind of create a buffer between those lots and that one. There's no wetlands impacts on the parcel. You can see some of the wetlands up in here, and that's pretty much it for the parcel. It's located on top of a large hill. There's really there are no wetlands on the parcel except for over here. We're not in the aquifer area, not in the aquifer zone. There's really just kind of, I guess, looking for some comments. The planning board's looking for comments from the commission. That's pretty much it.
So you delineated the wetlands recently?
Yes. They were delineated a number of years ago, and we basically went back and reevaluated them, refreshed the flags, and verified that they were accurate. Yep.
Yeah, that was a comment from our last time. They hadn't been verified.
Yep.
This was in June, June you did it.
Yes.
Sorry, June. Out of practice. So, it has nothing to do really, well, I guess, with the wetlands, but I was looking at this lot 4A23-4. That's, yeah, right. That's gonna be your access point to your property now?
Yes.
It's an easement on that parcel.
And, yeah, an easement through there. So the plan called for a little bit of imagination there. So my frontage is over here for this lot. And there would be an easement through that lot to get to this piece. So I just wrapped my lot around the whole thing to give the buffer that the abutters were looking for.
Right. It still follows the existing driveway, which runs up right through here.
Yes. So you're gonna maintain that open space as part of your lot then?
That was the thought, is just to, the abutters just wanted some space there.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at perhaps some type of covenants.
A covenant
and
or
that type of
something.
thing that go on
So
there.
this area, and then up in the dotted, of course, for the setback, that whole area, just, nobody could build there, particularly not dig a well there.
Yeah, so what we found when subdivisions do things like that you should put something in writing as to what the use of that area is gonna be. Because if not, it just becomes extended backyard for one abutter or the other, or both. It eventually blends, and there might be topography reasons why that won't happen here.
There kind of are,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they still wanted it.
Right.
It's pretty steep there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, absolutely.
Because it's also gonna become a dumping ground for them.
Yes.
Lawn clippings,
Well,
it's gonna,
it's pretty steep there.
yeah, I know,
You
but
might-
it's, yeah,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, all the more so, over that edge it goes.
That's
yeah, I
true.
think I've been meaning to have, it's just whatever these abutters want. They don't seem to want much language at all, but you're right, I could add,
Right.
I don't know exactly what wording to keep
Yeah.
them from polluting, but.
Well, you would think that knowing where their property line is would be enough, but it's not.
Right, right.
I mean, all these homes are existing, obviously, and they've been there for a while. This line is unchanged. This is Mr. Vaughn's property now, so whatever they're doing now, they're
Yeah.
probably gonna either continue doing or be asked to stop doing.
I think he's talking about these new
I think it's more the new ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're not used to the way things have always been.
Sure, yeah.
Right.
Good point.
And as we all know, it's the new people that are the bad ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We were all new at once, right?
Right. Everybody forgets that after a few
Everybody
years.
forgets that.
Yeah.
So I didn't, unfortunately, I didn't have time to read through the whole report. So how did we work out with well waters? Because water is an aspect that the commission looks at. So,
Well,
Depends which report you look at.
so did Emery and Garrett believe there's enough water to satisfy the needs?
yes, there was 2 studies done. So the planning board originally suggested and gave me the name of the first one, Hydrus, I forget the,
Hydrosource?
Hydrosource?
Believe so,
And
yeah.
asked for basically a desktop study to get a professional opinion on if there's enough water in that area, and if there would be potential effect on any of the existing wells. And the study clearly said there's plenty of water and highly unlikely that there would be any effect on any wells, especially considering the distance from the abutters and the, so then it was several meetings, you know, so then the abutters still had issue with that report. So the planning board suggested that we bring the professional in to the next meeting to explain it. And that's public record there. That was pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
And said that, you know, the idea of talking about a crystalline fractured, the way we get our water in New Hampshire, it's virtually impossible to say that one fracture isn't going to touch another somewhere, which I guess sparked enough to say, well, we're not sure we believe this guy, so why don't we have Emery and Garrett review theirs. They said the same thing in a few different words and made it clear that they didn't like some of the wording that the other professionals said, which is pretty common in reviews like that.
Mm-hmm.
They had suggested that we could do quite extensive studies to figure it out, but also concluded that even that over time, you just don't know. So at the end of all of that, Robert Best suggested, he didn't say we had to, but he just suggested, why don't you get together with your abutters and see if there's any changes you can make to this plan to maybe make people feel more comfortable with it. So this design, there used to be, it's changed in two ways. First of all, we bought some property over here, so we did add something over there.
Mm-hmm.
But we basically moved the road over and up to push things as far from these properties as we could.
Yep.
And then there was originally a lot right in here, so we eliminated one lot, which actually wound up on this. It actually, at the time, it eliminated a lot, but now that we bought this property, it came back, but it moved it further away. And that's when we came up with this, you know, we take care of a buffer and give my frontage here where that lot would have been. And we agreed not to do any blasting, and we agreed to overbuild some septic systems here. And we agreed to the buffer, and that was basically all I heard from the abutters. You know, they were either at my house or I was at their house. There was a few people that didn't respond to my inquiry to let's figure out what we can do. So anyway, the abutters, we had to go to a zoning board meeting for these reduced frontages on the cul-de-sac.
Mm-hmm.
And the abutters that came to that spoke in favor of this plan.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of was a turnaround, which I thought was a 100% turnaround. And then this abutter over here came to the last planning board meeting and stated that, basically said, I've lived here for 30 years, I've got 2 gallons a minute, which is not enough water. And my well's 250 feet deep. And started a lot more conversation on it, you know? So I think, you know, my well's 1,400. I had to go a long way, I'm way up on the top, but there's a lot of wells with a lot of water in there. These 2 lots, there is one fellow that doesn't have very good water at all, and that's right here. And he doesn't have any place to dig another well. I'd be happy to let him dig it up in here if he wanted to try. But there's these 2 lots just dug wells. They went 250 feet and they each got 20 gallons.
Wow.
So these wells are closer than these are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've talked about it so much.
The bottom line,
I
I
don't
think,
know
is
how to talk about it anymore. I keep saying the same thing over and
Yeah.
over, but I called DES and I talked to Brandon Kernan. Anybody familiar with him? Hydrology. You know, I'm not even sure I'm supposed to be able to talk because he said he can't influence So let's strike that. Anyway, I had a very positive conversation with him about what's a reasonable use and the idea that there wouldn't be any water on that hill. And I was pleased with the conversation. And I've asked Robert Best to have a conversation with him before our next meeting also, maybe to clear things up. But that's all I know about water,
Okay.
except the crystalline fractures and how they work.
I think in general, the topic's been exhausted, and the preponderance of the evidence, especially from DES, is that most of with the exception of maybe this one gentleman, everybody meets or exceeds all the state's requirements for their wells. There really is no issue. There's never been any issues as far as gaining water on individual lots. Sometimes you have to go deeper, but as far as it being an issue, I think all the professionals will say that it's not an issue, never has been an issue. It usually can be solved, and it's certainly not going to. Nobody can predict whether it's going to be detrimental to anybody else as well. In the whole state, it may be connected somehow, but the probability is that it's never going to happen, and that there's really no issue, and it's not in their in any abutter's purview to say you can't build there or you can't drill a well there because it's going to dry up my well, which is just kind of someone's opinion. But Mr. Vaughn has spent quite a bit of money with professional opinions and geologists, and they've all pretty much come to the same opinions that there's no issue and there's going to be water there, and it's not going to affect the abutters.
So I raised the comment only because we commented on water on the first time around. I just wanted to see how things had evolved since the first time.
That's
So-
They've gone all the way around.
I think we're to the end
Yeah.
of the deal. And like I say, I mean, there's been 3 wells dug here in the last year. This well right over here, there was a new lot that we put in right up here, which is at the higher elevation. If you want to argue that elevation makes a difference, he got 8 gallons. These 2 over here, this fella here, where the well is across the street is like the same elevation, And then actually there was one down by the river, but of course everybody knows it's river water, which it isn't. But he only went 200 feet, less than 300, whatever, and he's getting 30 gallons. There's a lot of water there.
Okay.
You made a comment that you're not going to be doing any blasting at all?
Yeah, that was my commitment to the abutters, and that was I told them I wouldn't do it, and we'd put that in whatever, either in the plan that the homeowners can't do it, and you either find a design or a place where you don't have to blast, or that we would hammer, and there's a pretty big cut right here that's could be a long time chipping at, which I'm not looking forward to and don't like and don't want to have to do. I'd rather do it the right way and the easy way and the construction approved way, but I did everything I could think of, and that was one of them. Some of them are becoming quite costly.
Because there's still references to blasting in this plan.
That's what
I was saying. So I mean, this is going to be revved?
Yeah, if there's references to blasting in there, that's going to be revised.
And that's
Right.
something boilerplate, I imagine.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
in
yeah,
the
I'm sure, but
details
it's
or-
Right.
I did have a neighbor years ago lose his water when they put in a house next door and they blasted some ledge.
When they blasted, yeah. Yeah, that scares me a bit too, so I can understand the concern with that.
Especially down.
Huh? Yeah, well, this blasting will, yeah, where I am, yeah. We have the 2 deepest, the one that's not getting any in mine.
Just on a quick side note, there's on page 4 of 11.
Okay.
You've got a comment here, then the notes, note 17. It's referencing the proposed easement driveway on lot 423.3. I think that's supposed to be 423.4.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So if you could.
What note was
Note,
that?
note 17, nope, over more, note 17.
Yep, that should be, right, 23.4.
You do reference soil testing in here, which is good for, before your, but you guys, as you know, you're way uphill, so even the low phosphate, if you could think about things like no phosphate in your fertilizer plan, that would be, we just like that being uphill from the water. And overall, I didn't really find there a lot to,
The highest ground in town almost.
it's up there.
Close, yeah.
So how are you,
the elevation?
I don't,
340.
It's 440 up here, yeah. I'm not sure if this is on, what datum it's on, if it's on USGS datum. I'd have to double check on that, but.
so how are you capturing the water coming down the road then?
So there's a couple of detention basins.
These lights are awful.
So
there's
this
a lot
is,
of detention basins.
yeah, this is the area that is the frontage for Brett's lot. So that houses a large detention basin there.
Swales and that,
Right. Yeah, so there's treatment swales down at the end here, and then
two up there.
up here, yeah, picking up this and this.
And there's a big one at the top, two at the top.
So right in here, with a level spreader, and then
That one goes into a basin below, and she must be.
that's a drive.
No. I don't think so.
Go to,
I think there's another.
go to page 8.
Right here.
Oh, yeah, So all these test pits were pretty good up here. Ledge, 53, 50, 50, none, 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 which is usually more than about 8 feet or so. There's some shallow spots, but, you know, overall, it's some pretty good soil up in there, well-drained soil.
That detention basin being close to the wetlands, what's the overflow? The 50-year or?
The design flow,
Yeah.
you mean? I would have to double check on that, but I'm sure it's whatever the town requires on that. The design storm, we do have a stormwater management plan for this too, so we can provide you with that. I'm not sure what it is off the top of my head, but. Probably in one of these notes. I can get you that. And make sure that, just verify that that meets the requirements.
So Brett, if you're uncomfortable answering, that's okay. There was a lot above this one. I'm going to call it above because that's where it's actually north. That you had an option on that you were going to incorporate into the other plan. Is that lot now off the table with this plan?
Yeah, because if we could talk about it again, I'd love to. I mean, I would like to have done that plan.
Yeah.
But it seems that like the number of lots was 17, and it's just like where it comes from. It was spread out. It was tighter, and it stemmed from the discussion of water.
Understood. Yeah.
And
I was just curious if that was complete. That's completely off.
Yeah,
this plan.
my option to purchase it expired, and I talked to the fellow a few times. I know he just recently listed it.
Oh, yeah.
He wants $195,000.
Really? Wow. Hope they enjoy trying to put access into that.
I know it's
That's going to make it cost prohibitive. Well, I'll leave it alone.
I
Some
know.
people might want to spend the money.
yeah. I think it's yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably $100,000 access up to it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep. Plus the process to get there, because as you know, to get access to the drive that you did for the lot that you eventually sold, that was quite a process to get
oh
to
yeah,
that.
that's and they'd have to do that and again to get to it,
Right.
which would be. I mean, that's pretty good engineering, just talking about all that stormwater
Right,
and
yeah.
catch basins and then once you get there, it's a little steep, and you guys might want to make them an offer. I mean, because I know it abuts the rest of it now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. When we were here talking to you guys about it that time, I thought, man, this is one that's going to work nice for everybody.
Right.
This is just all the regs and the rules, and we can follow them, and everybody's going to turn out great. And it
Okay.
didn't.
Yeah, we've had some discussions here and there, but they haven't yielded something that I think we're comfortable with yet. So.
Yeah. How about that piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any other questions at all.
I don't either. I think as long as you let them know about what we discussed today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest concern was just to make sure that the common land has some verbiage somewhere that probably people won't listen to, but at least you put it in there, that they
Yeah.
don't use it as a dumping ground, that it's meant to be preserved in its state.
No dumping.
Yeah,
The
no
big
dumping.
sign up, no dumping. I mean, it's, we'll try to figure out a way to word it, but I mean, honestly, it should be, if and when everything happens, it should be a pretty nice subdivision and
They're pretty large lots, too. It's going
Large
to take
lots
them a
and-
while to get back there.
I don't perceive them wanting to cut down, because that's some of the steepest stuff on that side, that anybody would want to cut too much there anyway. They won't gain a view or anything,
Right.
not from that direction, so the view's off the other way.
Mhm.
I think it would have been very, I don't think anybody was ever going to do anything anyway, but the easement, or
Mhm.
now we know,
No, I don't have any further comments. Anyone have any other questions, comments? When are you guys going before the planning board next?
15th.
All right, so we can, we'll write a letter to them and just record what we've spoken about here and go from there.
Tell them how polite and nice we were and everything. We could use any, yeah.
Applicant charming Brett Vaughn.
Yes, charming, that's the word.
There you go. So, yeah, I guess we'll get that letter and get it off to them, so.
Okay.
Thank you
Thanks
very
a
much for
lot.
coming in.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, yeah, thank you.
Few windows on the way out.
Yeah.
Oh, you got another one? All right, see you later.
Yeah. Yeah, he got doubled up today.
Yeah. At least I don't have to drive far.
Do you think it's gonna be too loud to have the windows open? They're on the other side of the door.
No, I don't think so. It should be
Yeah,
fine.
Fine on that side.
Well, it's on here.
It is.
So you're here alone for this?
I am. We're gonna walk out in one piece, or?
Still to be determined.
Yeah.
Well, that is enough. All right.
Star Drive.
Existing bank. The little turnaround is behind the bank right down Daniels Highway.
Yeah, so not too far down.
Yeah, it's right across the street.
Used to be a ball field when I was a kid.
Really?
Really?
Yep. That's where I learned to
Should
play.
run the right, pretty steep.
It was a small, it's a grove of trees. It's all treed in now, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, we're talking 70s. Okay.
Well, I guess it's
and I was,
possible.
and it was pre-Little League. I wouldn't call it T-ball, but, but yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't a formal field, it was a practice field
Yeah.
area.
sandlot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. So this parcel, evidently it's been on the market for about 25 years or so. There's a few challenging aspects to it. Part of it is the steepness along Daniel Webster Highway, and it goes down and then it flattens out, probably where the ball field used to be. But it's somewhat burdened by stormwater from Daniel Webster Highway. So right in here, this is Herrick Street. I think it goes to, is it the wastewater treatment plant down there?
No.
Or
No.
is it a different
That's
one I'm
much
thinking of?
further down.
Yeah, okay.
It's a development.
Yeah, it's like an industrial development.
There's some homes back there
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
So it's fairly steep off of Daniel Webster Highway. There are two drainage culverts coming out that dump out, one right here and one right here. This one, the flow is fairly minimal. There's a little bit of channelization during, high flow, large storms or whatever, but it infiltrates right into the soil. There's sandy soils in here. So that one's not really an issue. This one, however, for some reason carries enough water coming off of Smith Road, and there's a low spot over here on the highway, that this generates some velocity. And I don't know if you folks have had a chance to walk down there at all, but Essentially what's happened is you have a hanging culvert here, and it's eroded away the sand, and it's cut itself a channel down into here, which is basically near the, I'd say probably about 30 feet after the end of the culvert. It gets down, it's cut itself into the groundwater table, if you will. So hence, that's where we get our wetland generation, is it's intercepted the groundwater table due to that erosion. And you have this area in here. I don't know if I have a better one that breaks it out. Let's see a little better. Hatch is a little weak, but you can kind of see the red dashed lines and the blue and green in here. So basically it comes down here, it's cut its channel here, and then this is essentially all the deposition from what it's cut. So you have sediment coming out of this culvert, and you have sediment that's getting eroded out of this bank here that's getting deposited in here. And then it essentially just flows out down into here into this larger wetland down here to the east. So
We've made that wetland.
essentially, I mean, there's some components that certainly, once you scour it out and you've intercepted the water table over time, you're going to get generation of wetland plants. It's a natural progression, but the cause of it, yeah, I'd say it's probably 90% at least, yeah, man-made due to this runoff. And then the factors over time, obviously, it generates it. So that's kind of where we're coming from here, I guess, is that what we want to do, or part of the proposal, is to extend this culvert, both of these culverts, to allow for development here, and basically channel these into a plunge pool with gabions in here to dissipate all that energy before it gets discharged into the wetlands. There's a small area of uplands, and then it basically filters down into the wetlands here. This side of the wetlands in here, essentially you do have some seeps, basically groundwater seeps coming through here. So a lot of this water also runs through the sand here. It's a sandy soil and eventually comes out over here. So there's all our impervious area here is going to be treated, picked up in these two basins here, and then there's an underground infiltration system here for it to basically infiltrate into the soil before it goes off-site over here. This is proposed as like a 2-story storage building, I believe. So, and then I think I have a.
So just the corner of it's going to be the 4-story section?
Right, so I'll show the picture here, kind of helps a little bit. So that 4-story is just this kind of the glass facade in the corner, tower, if you will. So the view from Daniel Webster will be this, and then this is the back side. So essentially you come down, go around. This is heading down here, so you go down around and then access the main doors to the rear here. So the storage will be inside. They, not myself, but I believe Chad they have been before the zoning board, and they did receive a variance. I believe it was a variance and a special, I think it was a variance and a special exception for the wetlands work, and a variance for, I think they're encroaching slightly on the front setback here, right here. So it's a 50-foot setback, and they're encroaching on that to allow for basically more usable room on the lot due to the steepness. So they did receive those from the zoning board.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to apologize. The ball field was on the opposite side of Herrick Street.
Okay.
Now that I see that there's the furniture building on right there, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the opposite side. Yep,
Okay.
sorry.
It's all right.
That way you don't misspeak at the planning board and
Yeah.
the old-timers can't call you out on it.
Tim Tenhave is nuts. Yeah. No, it's fairly heavily wooded in there. And there's, there's some decent sized trees. A lot of this area here is just shrubs. It's basically sloped from Daniel Webster Highway when they constructed that. Essentially, you can kind of see it as it comes down Herrick. All this has been manipulated and graded to match for the highway right down into here.
So you're gonna need a wetland permit for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, we're over, I think we're about 13,000, somewhere around there. We're over 10, I know that.
Can you speak to what the proposed mitigation might be?
I don't know if it's going to be an in lieu fee type of thing right now. Is probably on the table. There's really not a lot of area here for obviously any upland preservation. I suspect that it may be in the in lieu fee fund.
Yeah.
Because, so given the opportunity and the timing, we would like to work with the with the owner or developer to provide an alternative mitigation opportunity,
Okay.
right?
You have a few in mind? Or potential?
it-
Or can come up with some?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know what their timing is, so. But
I don't know off the top of my head
I
either.
would say you're probably gonna miss this construction season anyway.
Yes. Yes, that one's fairly well gone, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
and
feeling fall already, so it's, no matter how hot it gets, it's right around the corner. The time flies so fast. We're in August. and it's-
Shipyards and Market Basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seasonal already.
the season was already shifted.
Yeah, that's the sure
Almost
sign.
summer. That's it. You're
Yeah.
gonna see all the pumpkin beers anytime
Right.
now.
That's the shipyards.
That's right.
Yeah.
Always pushing it.
I hate that. I hold off on that as long as I can.
So, but in all honesty, if they decide that they're gonna move forward with this, we would love the opportunity to at least make a suggestion.
Sure.
Okay?
I'm sure they're more than willing to hear all options.
Okay. D3?
Right here.
Yeah, we have it, we already have our,
It's on
here,
our agenda
we-
tonight.
yeah,
Okay.
we're doing some engineering work on it right now, so.
Perfect.
So. So-
So that's really it, is that, this site is challenging, but I think that the zoning board felt that, it's a good use for the site. It's a commercial use, with a somewhat steep area. There's not a whole lot of opportunity there for other types of businesses that need more, frontage. It drops off so steep that, and as far as parking and all that kind of commercial business, this doesn't require all that
Right.
support.
So who owns the lot to the east then that's gonna receive all this water?
Right here,
So that's a different owner then, I take it then?
I think that it may be the same owner that is selling this parcel. I don't think that they've actually purchased it yet.
Okay. Then my other question is do you have the stormwater evaluations that show what the flow is gonna be before and after?
I don't have them in my pocket. I know they're
Okay.
being actively developed. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not complete yet then?
That's my understanding, yeah. I mean, it is challenging, obviously. It's a small lot. We have a lot of water to pick up and take care of, both from DW Highway and from the impervious area, so. But we'll definitely have that ready and available.
Yeah, 'cause we usually like to see, less water coming off, or at least no more.
Yep.
That's probably even in the regulations at this point, so.
Right.
How close is that to that, electrical station?
Half a mile.
Oh, okay,
Big Fallon's Furniture.
okay.
right?
It's, if you're looking at Fallon's, to the left.
Okay,
The
Yeah,
wood's to
that's,
the left.
that's Fallon's right there.
Yeah.
all right. Thanks.
Did you peruse for the usual fertilizers and hay bales and all that?
That's a long process.
Yeah.
I didn't go through the whole thing, but there's a lot of similar text in there from the previous.
I hope the hay bales are out of there.
Just say low phosphate in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of text in there is similar to the previous
Okay.
report we just looked through. So, and I didn't see hay and didn't see phosphate, just low phosphate.
Hay is on there on page 8.
Oh, you didn't? I missed it. Huh?
Left-hand column, under erosion control, winter construction, there, note 3
We're not doing it in the winter.
has hay in it.
Oh, I don't have it with me. Page 8.
Page 8, yeah,
See, I need
bottom left-hand corner.
my magnifying glass again.
I think these guys do it on purpose. I think they have. I said, you know what, you guys? I'm like,
They're not going to, they're not going to the meeting.
no, I keep telling them, I'm like, look, guys, you got to get the hay out of there. I'm like, they're going to find the hay, I guarantee it.
So, given the proximity to the Merrimack River and the proximity to a large wetland, I would prefer to see no phosphate,
Okay.
because we have some trouble further north with phosphates creating, bad plumes,
Yeah.
so,
Horseshoe.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then the surrounding area, which is just, you're talking a quarter mile away. And I take it there'll be a maintenance plan for cleaning out the,
Yes.
Yeah, there's some pretty aggressive looking
yeah.
sumps and stuff in the back.
Yeah,
Speak into
it's-
those a bit.
It's kind of a new, I don't know if it's newfangled, it's, I don't know if I have that sheet with me. I got the
Sheet 10?
abbreviated sheet.
Yeah, sheet 10.
I don't have it.
What did you call the disbursement tool?
In here, the plunge pool,
It started with a G.
Gabion.
Gabion.
Gabion riprap. Those are like the, they're like the probably 9 to 12 inch riprap in a wire cage. So they're
Oh.
built into those big blocks and they get tied together. So essentially it allows for the water to basically dissipate all its energy and then either flows through all those through the stone, or if there's enough flow, it flows to the top and then it acts like a level spreader so that it just kind of, spills over the top with no energy. So,
Is there natter on the outside, or?
well, there's the wire cage that holds it all together.
You've seen this on the side of the highways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly, it's just big wire boxes, almost just loaded
So
up with
there's
stone.
nothing around the outside, it's just big cage.
Well, there's a hole, so there's a big hole first, and then, right, those wrap around it, essentially, yeah. I mean, it'll be vegetated, or, so that it's not like you're gonna have, like a loam or anything like that that's gonna get eroded. But, yeah. They're still tweaking some of the, like I said, some of the stormwater things, as far as the, this infiltration basin here, there's some modifications. They're still kind of actively in play as far as the engineering goes, so there might see some minor modifications in the end, but essentially this works and treats everything that we have, so.
So you don't have, you can't speak to the ballast, the pump and ballasts set here much, or?
Cannot.
Oh, it's a pretty,
It's a newer type of system. I know that that they're you know, a lot of these companies are coming up with these infiltration systems. I'm not familiar with that type. I think those are probably into these basins. And then it basically flows into here, gets infiltrated and then comes out, but no, I would be guessing.
You know, our engineers will look that through.
Yeah, you know, it's something new to me. I'd like to know how it works.
Right. Yeah.
Right. CLD always does a pretty thorough job, so I'm sure they'll find.
I take it this is going before the planning board on the 15th also?
I am not sure. I'm not sure. I think it may be, but
Do you know if this is your applicant's first attempt at the high bay storage, or is this a high bay storage?
this is for the My Box. So basically, you know how you've seen those around.
They're over here now on Continental.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's basically what's going to be stored there,
Gotcha.
and they'll be inside.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
But they're not going to be doing maintenance to the trucks or anything like that. This is just a storage facility?
Right. Right. So basically, they bring them in there. They store them whether they're full with people's stuff or not. So it's kind of like a self-storage, but not. You know, and then
You don't have customers going in and out. that
Right.
way.
I mean, someone might, if they're storing somebody's stuff here, you know, there might be an occasional customer that says, hey, I want to get my stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and they come in and they make it accessible to them. But typically, those basically get moved from your home. Let's say you're moving, you fill it up, they put it on a truck, they bring it to your new house, they set it in your lot, and it gets stored on your lot, you know, with your stuff in it, so.
Anybody else have any questions for this? No? All right, well, we'll get a letter off to the
Okay.
planning board covering
Thank you.
the
And we'll
conversations here, and
We'll make the revisions so far that we have, and then we'll look into, obviously, once we get CLD's comments and make any revisions that they're looking for. So. Thank you.
If you're doing a wetland permit, that'll
Yep.
come back to us, correct?
It will,
Okay.
yeah.
It will, it's going to be a standard permit, so it's not going to be an expedited permit.
Yeah.
So it's something that, you know, it won't require your signature, but it'll be,
But it'll be
you'll
available
see
to
it.
us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Provided to us.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
all right. Appointments, and so do you want to, oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Want to finish all
Yeah, I
that?
forgot, yeah. Just assuming someone else would be here, they're not here. The shoreline permit. So heating river, shoreline, City of Merrimack.
See ya.
Good night.
So this is mostly just a, hey, we're telling you what's going on.
Yeah,
So,
wasn't really a whole lot to.
yeah. Oh, but thank you for sharing this.
I don't think there's, this is nothing we even have to sign, is it? This is gonna
Nope.
be, this is gonna go through.
Yeah. No, there's, people are required to provide this notice. I'm not sure there's a fee involved, but it lets DES know what's going on when things fall, below their regulatory areas where they would want a permit and all that stuff. So actually, there probably is a permit involved here, but not for us to comment on.
Yep.
As in most things that go before DES, if we really had an issue, we could
Yeah.
certainly provide comments anyways. So it may not change the process, but we will at least have had an opportunity to air our thoughts. So, and we know DES is pretty receptive to comments from commissions. Doesn't mean that they change their mind, because they have to follow the rules as well, so.
Does anybody have any comments about this? No? So we can just put community development note, we have no comments?
Yep.
And go from there. Toasty?
It's hot.
All right, we'll try this the third time. The appointments, I suppose we should, we could probably combine them in with the updates, but I think we probably should do them separately, because we're gonna have to make appointments within ourselves here for the different
agree.
boards, so.
Yeah.
Do we wanna do reports from the subcoms on their appointments from there? Cindy, can you start?
So are we just doing the appointments, or are we doing the updates?
Yeah, why don't we
Yeah.
just stick to
Just
the
start with
appointments,
the-
because we've
okay.
got, I guess, do you want to cover both, or do you want to do them as one at a time? Because we're going to have to make appointments here within ourselves, too, for these boards, so I was trying to just keep that separate.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I
Okay.
just, I heard right. So for the Horse Hill Subcommittee, we actually had 2 people that were up for renewal, because another position had changed over, like, maybe 3 months ago, so we extended that, 3 years and 3 months. So instead of having 3, we had 2. Sharon Hickey is a full member, and Rose Shajinko is an alternate, and they would both like to renew their terms.
At their existing position?
Yes.
Any reason Rose doesn't want to be a full member?
Well,
Are
I
you,
thought we had to announce that first.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned it to her that it would be, that a position would be opening, but I thought that we had to kind of announce it.
well,
and then-
is she, does she want to do that, or is she?
I think she would. I mean, I didn't get the specifics yet, but
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
mentioned it to her. So
Yeah, and if she does, she should bring it back to, let you know, or
Mhm.
maybe submit an email or something.
okay, could do that. So should I just make a motion?
Well, you had a member step down.
Yes, we, Roland Roberge, resigned at our last meeting. His term was gonna be up in another year. So just like, Deb, he's been around for a long time. He's from the beginning, I believe.
Yeah.
He's done a ton of work. He lives close, so he's done a lot of work with the maps and talking to people, so, we will miss his help, but, we understand people want to take a break, and Newt, who's also been around from the beginning, did not want to continue to be chair, so we now have a new chair. Peter is our new chair, but Newt said that his plan was to stick around for another year and help with transition and things like that. So that's appreciated. So there will be a full-time position opening that I'm announcing now.
So your committee now there's one full-time position open?
Yep.
Or there's,
yes, as of now, there's
Right.
one full-time position open, and there's one alternate position open. So,
do we need to vote on accepting those? I mean,
The resignation,
well, the resignation so much, but
Yep.
I think they're
for the renewals.
yeah,
renewals.
absolutely.
Okay, so I make a motion to appoint Sharon Hickey for a full member position, a renewal position, and Rose Shashenko.
So Sharon for a term that expires,
So that, yeah, they'd both be expiring July 31st of 2020 for 3-year terms. And then Rose Shashenko is an alternate position expiring July 31st, 2020.
second.
I have a quick question though. So what does that do now if Rose would like to take the position of full-time? Do we move her? Or do we vote on that again and then have two open alternate positions?
Well, we would certainly have to have a motion and a vote
Yeah.
to change her status. And then, yes, we would have 2 open alternates spots. Yeah.
Okay. I'm good. All right, so any other comments on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It passes 7, well, we're a full house, 7-0-0. Good.
Cindy, please thank everybody for us.
Yes.
Certainly, Roland, obviously, that he's done a tremendous amount of work, and we do want to acknowledge the fact that his help has been, tremendous amount of help, and we do appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. You noted that Peter is now the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the vice chair?
We don't have one right now.
Okay.
That was kind of one of the questions. Someone who would be a perfect vice chair, because he's out there in the woods every day, would be Tim Adams.
Well, so the subcommittee needs to name their own vice chair. That's not something we appoint.
Well, he's an alternate member because he lives in Nashua. So we didn't know if there was any possibility of that. No. Okay.
No,
We have to look at the charge, but I think the charge said
It does
Needs to
say
be a
you have to
full-time
be
member.
a full-time member,
And-
and I didn't know if that was
And to be a
something,
full-time member, you have to be
Vote on.
a resident.
or
so.
there was any
Sorry,
wiggle
that's,
room with that.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, she's like, nope.
I went there already.
Oh, you did. Oh,
Well,
okay.
You know, a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Not
Tried
even
to.
a subcommittee.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
So the way the bylaws are written now, answer is no. It's our subcommittee.
Mm-hmm.
Belongs to the commission. It doesn't fall under the purview of the council or anyone else, but we answer to the council, so we could be challenged.
Oh, I see.
But technically, we could change the rule if we wanted to, but we answer to the council, and therefore the council could tell us, no, we don't like that. Okay?
But we did model the
We mo-
bylaws based on,
Right, based on how we handle all other regular committees in town. So we would be inconsistent with the rest of
Right.
the town if we did that.
Yeah.
So, just being technical.
Wouldn't.
Well, I can see your point because you're a commission and not a committee. But
Yeah.
I think there are good reasons for it.
Jack, you should come back on.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yes, I think there are probably good reasons for it, and we'd be best not to tamper.
Right.
Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we spoke that it is potentially
Right.
possible, just probably not advisable.
Yeah.
So he's allowed to be an alternate but not a full-time member?
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Need to get him to move.
I tried. I said, "Are you gonna move yet?" And he said, "No, he's not moving." I tried to get him to
It's
move.
190 acres. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I have a kid leaving for college soon. I'll just rent him a room.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Or use the address like they do in schools. Right.
All right, that's Horse Hill.
So you'll let us know if we should do something for Roland?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right. I mean, I know some people don't want it, so I can
Please,
kind of check before. Yeah. You do anything. So.
please.
Okay.
You want
Greater Woods
to,
next.
Greater Woods? Sure.
So as far as our subcommittee goes, we had a meeting last month, and we didn't make too many changes, I guess. Shannon Barnes full-time member, and Nat Fairbanks, full-time member, are both on till the end of July 2018. We also added Jason Wright, a full-time member, extended his to 7/31/18, and we moved Steve Marble, who has made almost every meeting, to a full-time member.
Are you proposing those changes?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The subcommittee proposed these changes, so I'm just stating it how the
Okay.
subcommittee
Right.
proposed it. He is taking or proposed to take Joe's full-time membership and extend to 2019, 7/31/2019, along with me and Steve Deslitz to 2019, and the alternates would become Steve Bashand to 2018 and Adam Dodge to 2018.
Okay, so alternates are 1 year, or are they 3 years?
1 year.
1 year, okay. The other moves, are they, so Shannon only wants one more year, is that kind of?
No, she's already on for 1 more year, so
Okay.
no change to her.
Okay.
She and Nat are already, were already
Right.
elected and on there till the 18th.
Okay, all right.
18.
That's okay.
So we made Jason another 18, so we could have 3 full-timers, 18,
Mhm.
and then 3 full-timers, 19. So it was sort of what we had been trying to do for a number of years, is get it so that not everybody falls off at the same time.
Right,
So, every year, half of the full-timers kind of come on and off, and then the 2 alternates for a year, and whoever you appoint as ex officio, or we appoint as ex officio. And however, fortunately or unfortunately, I stayed the chair, and Nat stayed vice chair, according to the subcommittee.
Entertain a motion.
Do we have to reapprove you as ex officio, or does that come out?
It's coming up.
Okay.
We're going to do all the ex officios at once.
So, as the subcommittee put forth, I'll make that movement.
Motion. I'll second. Anybody got any questions? All those in favor? Aye.
aye.
Right. The Greater Woods appointments stand as 700. All right. And Wildcat Falls. Do you guys have?
So Wildcat Falls, we only had one member that needed to be worked on. That's Andrew, and he is asked to continue another 3-year term. I don't think we have any alternates at this point. So we have openings, but we don't have any in play. So
Do you have any openings in the full time? Or
I don't think so. We're a smaller committee.
Okay.
Right, so we have
if it's just alternates?
Karen, Rebecca, Liz, Andrew, and myself. Yeah, we're a 5-member subcommittee.
So it's all alternates.
All alternates, yeah. So, so I move that we continue, we reappoint Andrew to another 3-year term ending in 2020.
Second.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye?
Passes 700. Okay. So, and that's all for the subcommittees that we currently have. So we also have, from this board, ex officio members that sit on each of those subcommittees. So currently I'm on the Greater Woods Subcommittee. Matt Tim is the Wildcat Falls, and Cindy is the Horse Hill Nature Preserve ex officio. Do you want to retain that post, or are you looking to change?
Well, I mean, I feel like sometimes they ask questions I just don't have the answers to, and maybe
okay.
someone else would be better suited.
Well, do you not want to do? I mean, this is not. I try not to be a loaded question out, but I mean, it's if there's someone else that would like to do it, that's one thing. But if you want to retain it, also, that's.
I mean,
We just need to have a discussion
You
about
live
that.
there, you're on this committee, you know, you're,
Yeah. I mean, I have had a lot going on in my life
Oh.
too, but
We know.
no, it's not just the mouse. No, he loves to bring that up wherever we are. But no, not with it. Much more than that. You know, but if I mean, I could do it. I just don't know that I'm doing the best job that out of our group here. You know, I mean, I don't get out in the woods very often, and but
It's totally up to you,
Yep.
unless there's someone
Does
else here.
does anyone else want to be the ex officio member for Horse Hill?
It's a great learning experience, right? So you learned a whole lot about things, didn't you?
yeah,
Some of them good, some of them not so good.
right. Yeah, I know.
I want to make a comment. We all do the very best we can,
Yeah, I know,
and nobody knows all the answers.
That's true.
And I, for one, appreciate everybody who steps forward.
Right.
I know I sure don't know a whole lot either, but it's good to have people in place who care anyway.
Right. Well, that's true. Yeah. Good point. That's a good point.
So-
yeah, it's up to you, it's your decision,
It's my decision. No.
if you want to continue or not.
If not, we'll just appoint someone else.
Oh, yeah. Without asking them? No.
It's kind of hard to do that tonight because everyone's here.
Yeah, that's right. Usually it's whoever's not here.
Can you just step out of the
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
That's right, you're not an ex officio.
Right.
That's right. I know. Mhm.
Yeah, I will say, as a outsider watching the subcommittee,
Mhm.
and having been the ex
Oh.
officio on the Horse Hill subcommittee, there are a lot of questions that come up out of that subcommittee because a lot of the members of that subcommittee have been on it for a long time. So, I then went to the Greater Woods subcommittee where everybody was new.
Oh, right.
So we didn't have a lot of history and a lot of people that knew stuff about it, the property.
Right.
The Horse Hill's different because a lot of people know a lot about the property.
Mhm.
So questions come up because of that.
Oh, okay.
So I think but the longer a group like that works together,
Yeah.
I think the more cohesive it will become.
Mhm.
So the growing pains probably happened mostly in the first year.
Right.
So at least you're beyond.
Okay. Right.
And this is a yearly post, and
Right.
obviously as a volunteer,
Mhm.
you can volunteer. You can also come up and say, 6 months from now, yes,
Pull the chute.
We need to make a change, and we can make a change. So obviously it's up to you. But if you'd like to retain that position, I would certainly support your efforts.
Yeah. All right. I will.
I
So you'll
agree.
take it?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion. Cindy stays the ex officio for Horse Hill.
For a term of 1 year.
Term of 1 year.
Okay. All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Passes 6-0-1 with Cindy abstaining?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. For myself.
Okay, that works. And Tim, you were the ex officio for Wildcat Falls. I'm assuming that you want to retain that?
For probably about 6 months. Okay?
Okay.
All right, I mean, I'll take a yearly appointment, but I'll tell you that probably sometime in the winter I'm going to give it up. And the reason being is I'd like to create the Fields Farm Subcommittee.
What if I worked with you for this 6 months and learned, the
Yeah.
ropes on it, and then I can take over Wildcat Falls?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know nothing about being an ex officio. I mean, I don't even know if I'm saying it the right way, so.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
All right. Because I think Wildcat Falls is a little bit smaller and probably a lot easier to handle than, Horse Hill is big. And everybody knows what they're doing, and I get a feeling that they will just eat me alive. So, I know nothing about it.
You won't
Not-
lose your,
not
you won't
that
lose your
they're-
shoes in Wildcat.
Pardon me?
You won't lose your shoes in
That's
Wildcat.
good news. As long as I don't fall in because I have lousy
Yeah,
balance.
just don't go in the
Fall
water.
in the board. Stay away from Dog Beach.
Dog Beach. Okay. Okay.
So
Tim can show me the ropes.
We do have a meeting tomorrow night. If you
Tomorrow
don't,
night.
you don't have to feel obligated, but we do have a meeting tomorrow night.
All right.
I think we all got the agenda in the emails.
Yep.
Because Sharon pushes it out to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think where Fields Farm is.
That's also known as the Ireland property.
Oh.
It's across from Horse Hill, a little bit further down, across from the old Spalding house, before you
yeah,
get to
okay.
Peasley Road,
Okay.
And along the Souhegan River.
along the Souhegan River. It's 80-something acres. So,
Yep.
and soon to get a little bigger.
So the meetings are here?
Yeah, I think it's downstairs, I believe. So,
So do we
6:30.
make a 1-year appointment of the two of you?
She can always attend, no matter
Well, that's
what.
the thing, but I mean, again, if you're intending to resign in 6 months or so,
Yeah.
then can we handle all this right now and say that, there's gonna be you would make yourself available, I'm sure, to her, so I'm saying we could
Co-officios?
co-ex officios for the term of 1 year of Tim and Gina.
And then
Wildcat
in
Falls?
6 months, he'll be an ex-ex
Well,
officio.
You could make Gina the ex officio, and I'll just advise her.
You could do that. If you want to
If
do
you're,
that.
you're okay with
Okay
that?
with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
I can
and
be there tomorrow
does-
night.
So what's that do to your membership of a 5-member committee? Because the ex officio is considered a full-time member.
Correct.
So now you have a 6-member committee.
No, I'm just an advisor. I'm just a member of the public attending.
So you're going to, okay.
You want
He
to,
likes us.
you want to vote on the committee.
No,
He'll
I
just
don't need
whisper
to
in her
vote.
ear.
That's
I don't need to vote.
He's been basically what we've been doing, because usually if I want to do something, I look at Tim and I'm like, or
Yeah.
I look at you and I'm like, is this right?
No, well, that's fine. I just want to make sure we all, So-
I will actively participate, but I won't vote. It's easy enough.
Okay.
It's a good group.
Okay.
There's no tight votes on this group, okay?
Yeah.
We either do it or we don't do it,
Okay.
right? So,
Gotcha.
all
All
right,
right,
so
so
we're
I'll
good.
be there tomorrow night at 6:30, and I'll have to make dinner before, because they're not going to go for Papagino's 2 nights in a row.
crockpot.
All right, so
So I move Gina to be the ex officio member for Wildcat Falls Subcommittee for 1 year.
Second.
okay.
And then I abstain from voting? Is that how it works?
No, you can vote for
Okay.
yourself if you'd like.
Okay.
So, any other comments and questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, passes 7-0. We'll cross Tim out, but Gina. All right.
Gage, are you interested in staying the ex officio for?
Yes,
Greater Woods.
I am. I'm still enjoying that, so.
I'll make a motion, Gage be the ex officio for Greater Woods.
Unless someone else would like it.
I'll second.
Any other comments, questions? No, no one else wants to be? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, great, that passes 7-0. Oh, great.
Mike now needs to pick a place to make a.
Mike's been doing good work for us the past year.
Yeah.
No arguments there.
Leave Mike alone.
He's brought land to us. He's doing good stuff. He's our land baron. We like it.
I like spending money.
While we're on this particular vein, I will be attending the Parks and Rec subcommittee meeting a week from Wednesday. proposing our kiosk that we voted on a number of meetings ago in the resident lot of the Wasserman Park parking lot, the resident parking lot, over by the beginning of Quarry Trail.
Okay.
Great.
So that's another property that I don't know if it's large enough to have a subcommittee.
Well,
I think so.
now,
However-
because we've got that.
Yeah, it's
Right next to it.
it's 100 acres when you put the two lots together, and
So
so
we started a subcommittee. Wildcat Falls was 80 acres.
right.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe it is. A lot of people treat it as like a appendix
Yeah, it's-
to Horse Hill.
Mhm.
So I think, you know,
Yeah.
the Horse Hill Subcommittee occasionally talks about.
Oh,
It's connected. You think it would serve better as being a separate Wasserman or part of Horse Hill?
I don't know. That's something, I guess that decision is up to us. It's connected by the Quarry Trail,
Yeah. I
just
think-
across Natticook Road, so.
So the uses are are different. The I shouldn't say very different, but they're different. The permissions are different. Permitted uses are different. It's less mature, so it probably needs a subcommittee of people who want to get out and get their hands dirty. I mean, not that it's immature, because it certainly has quite a few trails. It's not like we probably won't be building extensively new trail systems in there, but we might be improving or deviating some of the trails to improve conditions. But yeah, it does have a different set of rules to it, though.
It also has that fitness loop
Yeah.
that is probably the next item that is in need of repair. A few of the
Yeah.
posts are.
I would love to see a subcommittee for that property.
Yeah, because just for that reason, I think that it gets a lot of use just because of people using the area. So it might be worthwhile to.
So, could you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm
not to
sorry.
overspeak.
Yes, I have seen like people using that just as like their morning walk and all, maybe more than some of the other properties. Do you ever feel, I'm curious on this, because you seem to be pretty full, do you ever get a feeling that some of the subcommittees siphon off people who would make good full-time members of one of the more major committees? Or you think they're happy where they are for some reason or another?
So I've tried when I was chair, when we were putting these together, to use that as a recruitment to the commission, to graduate people out of the subcommittees into the Conservation Commission.
Is that your attitude?
Well, that's what we have tried to do.
Yeah.
We've not succeeded, have we?
Yeah, it worked with me.
oh, you started.
That's true, yeah.
Worked with me.
But that was before we actually
Did
had
you, Mike?
formal subcommittees.
Well, not really, because there was a time in between.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know.
But
Yeah. Well, the Greater
yeah,
Woods
but you
Subcommittee-
guys
Friends of
worked
Greater
at that.
Woods.
You were
Yeah,
the
okay,
union.
you're right. So maybe I'm wrong, but I do know that, none of the Horse Hill folks have come all the way up through. I know you participated on Horse Hill. I know none of my Wildcat Falls members have thought about it or have asked me that they'd like to do that. They've all said, "Oh, we're good here."
Well, I think that's a good point in the favor of the subcommittees then. If people are happy where they are and useful, and they might not serve at all, if they won't
Yeah.
work for them.
Yeah.
Well, they know it's a step up in commitment to come onto this committee, I think. And so they know it takes more time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
But we're so fun.
Yes.
All right. Let's keep going.
So one other item in this vein.
Okay.
We were in July supposed to have our annual meeting.
Oh, that's right.
And
We didn't have any meetings.
We didn't. So where we address the bylaws and we do our own appointments.
Yeah.
So, so we probably should schedule that for the next
Next
meeting.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot all
No,
about
I-
it when
yeah,
you asked
so
for
did I.
agenda items. Didn't occur to me till I was driving in, and I said, "Oh darn," because I was hoping to make the motion to move Gage Perry as the chairman of the Conservation Commission for the next year.
Oh, that's right.
Second. I mean, what?
Yeah.
I think that was a motion and a second.
We should have just put it in the notes and not as anything. You'd have been like, oh no, your term's not up this
We
year.
didn't put it in here as an agenda item, but we didn't,
We always do that.
we always carry it as a separate agenda item, so I think that it's probably the right way to do it, is put it as a separate agenda item. So we'll put it on for the next meeting.
So in doing that, we always give the opportunity to change the bylaws too.
Yeah.
So you might want to have everyone get refreshed on what the bylaws are in case we want to make any adjustments. We haven't changed them in a couple of years, but
It's because we wrote them so well the first time.
exactly. We can't take credit for that. Those bylaws go back probably 20 years. So, back to Mike Burke. Remember him?
No.
Probably even Tim Dutton. He was a chair of the commission at one point, so.
Okay. So we ready to keep going?
Yep.
No? Okay. All right, so old business, we got 2 items on there. One, the Greater Road bypass. This is the road that Don Toowoomba has been working on with us for in Greater Woods. As you guys know, that they've been pretty busy last couple months. They've had a lot going on in town, and Dawn did respond to me with some information, but she wants to get together and actually talk about it because she just tried to sum up stuff in an email. So she's looking to have a little bit later this year. Let's see. Let me get in a couple of. She's got some plans to finish up on the road, and then she's going to be able to come up with a rough estimate, and then we can use that to go out to bid. So the exacts, give us an idea of some budgeting things. She's got a plan on being in the town council meeting on the 17th, and she typically doesn't. She lives far enough away that she tries to stick around for the meeting. So I'm going to try to see if we can get together on the 17th. Perhaps, or if someone else can do it too, we can see if we just get a couple people and just meet with her and go over what's been done and where it stands. But the road, she's done a lot of work on it. She's done a lot of prep work on it, so she feels she's got a good handle on what the road should be, and at least give us a rough estimate to go out to bid for. So it's not really a whole lot extra to tell, but the 17th, if you guys have some time, then we can try to see if we can get some time with her.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind that I mentioned that we have potential wetland mitigation project to
No.
Chris there, because I think this is
Perfect.
Yeah.
something that could fit.
Yep.
I can't see them covering the entire cost of this project, but
No.
if possible, that would be great. It falls right in line with what we did on Red Maple Trail, so it should garnish approval from DES. So
Even more so.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
More so.
correct, right? Yeah. So are you familiar with this project?
No, and I'm trying to think of where that might be.
Just let me know when that 17th comes up.
Last year with the council, we closed down a portion of South Greater Road that goes along that beaver pond because it washed out.
Yep.
Been
Well,
there.
Right, so what we're trying to do is phase 2 of that. So we've closed that down to stop the wetland incursions, but now we want to move that whole emergency access to higher ground.
Oh,
So that way we can still have fire protection and other emergency protection out there.
okay.
So,
And that's the
There's a
large
trail.
trail that goes off of the old road.
It goes
Yeah.
up, yeah. It's almost the same.
Okay, yeah, we were there yesterday and I saw a lot of wet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're trying to, redirect it, reset it up and make it a good emergency access.
Yeah, okay.
But it'll cost money, so.
Yeah. There's not a lot. The original road that we built in Greater Woods going through there from behind the school, a lot of the timber, that project paid for itself in the timber sales
Oh, yeah.
because there was a lot of wood. It was a long road. There was a lot of timber. There was a good timber harvest. This one is really not that quality of lumber out there. So this one's going to be a little bit different, funded a little differently.
And this is kind of a question, I guess. We'll be improving the rest of the road out to Greater Road. also, or?
I would think
The
we'd
same time?
we'd kind of have to.
Have to,
Are you
just
you
to get
referencing
there.
the entrance portion?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'd have to make it passable. I mean, it's supposed to be for emergency vehicles, so it's
Yeah.
going to have to be.
One large culvert would definitely be needed
Yeah.
and appreciated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some more work.
Yeah. So, yeah, we may have to do a combined effort, funds from multiple sources to make this work.
Yeah.
So,
And this is a big. We talk just moving the little. We're going to make a little trail, make a road up. This is a big job. This is a big project.
Yep.
So. I know we.
What would the cost of something like that
I-
be?
I can't even begin to speculate on that. That's again, that would be something Dawn or Kyle would have to give you that kind of idea.
and that's what we're waiting on.
Yeah.
They've done all the survey work.
Oh, okay.
We went out and helped Don, run all our lines and do all that stuff. So it's now a matter of making it a plan and costing it out.
Yep. She's a marvel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's like a one-man band.
Yeah, people from the subcommittees went and volunteered to help her, and they were all blown away at how well she works in the woods and how, much she taught them just as helpers
Yeah.
Yeah,
in the project.
that's
so,
great. I
yeah.
would have never thought she'd work in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
thought
with
she
the-
just repaired Amherst
the-
Road.
with the tripod of survey.
It's right under the branches.
Yeah.
All right, so any more questions on that, comments? No? Okay. The maps, status of the maps. We have, I asked Sarah to go, we had a couple changes to the Greater Woods map. If we looked at it some more, Matt had some comments and I had some comments. So they were gonna go out and redo a small section of the Greater Woods map, and then we're turning it over to the local printer, Alpha Graphics, to do printing. I did go in front of the town council, and they did approve the gift from Alpha Graphics to print our maps.
Alpha or paper graphics?
Paper graphics, right down the street.
Yeah, paper
Paper
graphics.
graphics, sorry. Oh boy, he's gonna be mad at me. Paper graphics, paper graphics, paper graphics.
Yeah, by the Y.
Yes, yeah. Long time Merrimack resident, long time supporter of MYA, town projects. Really, Frank's been a huge supporter of things in town, and he's a great guy. And I went down there with the maps and a piece of paper and said, I'm looking for a quote, and he called me back. When the quote came across his desk, he called me back and said, hey, we need to talk about this. I'm not going to charge you guys for this. This is, we need to figure something out here. So,
Is
The-
he doing, I'm sorry to interrupt, is he doing just the ones for the big kiosks, or he's doing all of the
he was
small
doing
ones?
this. He's doing the 11 by 17 ones.
Okay,
So I've not asked him about the other ones,
okay.
and we're, that's something we can do. But I was more concerned about getting the small ones first. The only thing that's going to change is he's going to put his logo on the back, and it's going to say, printed courtesy of Paper Graphics or something along those lines.
On the back or on the front?
Well,
so
there's
people
a-
can see it?
There's an NHRPC logo, so we're going to kind of fit it over there, that same size. It's going to, so that's in motion. I guess Sarah was out there Friday, she said, I believe. Do you remember that email? She's responded to us.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm very consumed with some other things.
No, that's
going
fine.
on
That's
right
fine.
now.
So I think she was out there Friday. I think someone was out there Friday. I think Matt. Maybe she sent Matt out
Yeah.
there Friday.
That
Oh, did
makes
you see
sense.
him?
No, it makes sense that he would have gone out because he did the original.
Yeah. So they're gonna make some changes. The ball field bridge wasn't on there. That little spur wasn't on there. The trail that is not a trail was on there, so they're gonna take that off.
Yeah.
So there's things like that. There's some small things like that that are just gonna change. And that being said, we in this last couple of weeks we were contacted by the New Hampshire 911. They're looking for maps of trails in the area. They're calling out. They're trying to get all the communities. So I sent them the GPX files that we have, and we, as you know, our former chief is now the director up there. So we got back a long, an email from him going, "Wow!" So they're very pleased with the maps. That was great. So that's going to be part of the E911 now. Or New Hampshire 911 is going to be the map set. So just kind of,
That's good.
it's good. It's good news. But that's all there is in the map. So when we have the final set, I'm going to take the whole set down to Paper Graphics, and we'll get them printed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I've held up putting them on the website, figuring that this was coming, and that way we're
Yep.
consistent. What they see on the website will be the same thing you see in the
Right.
kiosk, so, okay.
So the only thing we're gonna rep them with is just gonna be a date, it's gonna be, August 2017. So that's gonna be the set. And, that's gonna be our rev date, so.
Okay, we had talked at the last meeting, which I totally forgot until I was reading the minutes about, I had said that I would write something up for newspapers if we wanted to write something. So I can pass it around and everybody can read it, and if you have comments or things, we can redo it.
Is this just like as a news item
Yeah.
type thing? Okay.
Press release?
Yeah.
Our first press release?
Well, I mean, but if you have changes,
Exciting.
make your changes and we can discuss it at the next meeting. And then I can have it. I mean, just basically for the journal.
You wanna do it the next meeting, or wanna do it now?
It's up to you. Bless you.
Bless you.
Up to you.
You guys wanna do this now, you wanna? we can-
And
we can
you
do it
guys-
as
We
part of
can
the
do it
maps.
now.
will have to correct me because I'm sitting here and I don't know QR codes and stuff like that. So if I've misrepresented this, especially how people can access it, please correct me.
It's not the Greater Wood Town Forest, it's the forest.
Really? Because
Town forest is a legal definition apparently, and they told us not to call it the town forest.
okay, I'm trying to remember where I saw it as town
Oh,
forest.
it's written on things.
Okay, so
That old things that had town forest written on it, and then they said, don't call it town forest, it's
Okay.
illegal. That's a
Yeah.
legal,
so
entity.
Greater Woods Forest.
So to be more technical, I think one parcel was designated in a vote of the town to be a town forest, one of the many parcels that make up Greater Woods.
Mhm.
That's, I think, the heritage of why it's called the Greater Woods Town Forest. That's why that came
Makes
out.
sense.
The old brew.
I don't think it was the Bucher site.
Bucher.
No.
Bucher, and it's not
No,
the
no.
Bucher site.
No, it's not the Bucher site.
It would have to been one of the original
Yes.
parcels.
I could go look it up, but I think it's further back from what was the Bucher site.
Isn't the Bucher a school? What the school was part
The
of?
school is basically on the
On the
Bucher
Bucher
site,
site,
yeah.
right. And then there was the Campo site, which is north of it, where the meadow pond is, the beaver meadow is now what used to be the pond. That's the Campo parcel. I think it's to the west of the Campo parcel.
Okay.
So.
Do we
Where
just
Eagle
want to call
Trail
it Greater Woods? And just
yeah,
take
it-
forest
yeah,
out altogether?
It was the parcel that was tax deeded, that the town took for taxes, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the management plan used to say, when it was original, it was the Greater Woods Town Forest, and it's like, no,
Okay.
don't call town forest, so.
Do we just want to say Greater Woods and just take forest out too?
We can call it the Greater Woods, yeah?
Okay,
Yeah.
so just Greater Woods.
Yeah. So paper graphics for printing, they're not printing the larger maps, right? They're printing the.
I haven't asked them about that.
How about,
They're
how about
printing the map
some
brochures?
maps?
They're doing the brochures,
The
right?
brochures.
Oh, I thought that I just asked. You said they were printing the 11 by 17?
Yeah,
Yeah,
those,
the-
and
the-
those become
There's
the
a brochure.
brochures. You print them on the larger paper so you get edge to edge.
Or printing
Look.
brochures?
So, Merrimack Conservation Commission extends many thanks to Paper Graphics for printing the trifold maps.
That you can take along with you.
Pardon me?
That you can take along with you. And kind of merge those two sentences into
Okay.
one.
And then I'll say also available at each kiosk is a larger map
You know,
posted
you
for your
don't-
convenience.
You don't have to.
Okay. Okay.
Right, so, to be technically correct, Wildcat Falls is Wildcat Falls Conservation Area,
Okay.
so named by the town council.
Do we want to come back to this next meeting?
I'll
People
put
have a
your
read-
suggestions in.
Yeah, people have a chance to read this and digest and look at it, and
Okay.
Very good.
I'll do it double spaced and everything, so, and have,
did we end up with just enough
Thank
copies?
you.
We got an extra copy?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No? Do we have one extra copy?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm gonna put one back in the.
Thank you. You want the extra copy?
That would be on the 21st.
All right. Okay, any other old business? No? Good. All right. Moving on. The Mvd Well Study. You guys all should have received an email from me regarding a standard plot in Greater Woods. So the MVD is going to start working on the new well in Mitchell Woods, and they need to have part of that, like we spoke about with Brett, when they start dewatering a well and drawing water from it, they need to make sure that it's not impacting other areas. So they're trying to find an area that's within a certain boundary, and they're going to cordon it off, and it's just going to be yellow tape in the woods, and it's going to be in the red maple swamp. So I just cautioned them. I said, we need to make sure we know about it, and we put a sign or something on it, like right locally, because if you go out there and start working in red maple swamp, there's enough people that use that trail. We're gonna know about it. So it's going to be about a 10 by 10 plot. It's like a 3 meter by 3 meter plot. They're going to tape it off, stake it, and just put a sign. I said, just make sure you date the tape, and it's probably going to be there for 3 or 4 years, because what they do is they go and they take before they do anything at the well, they're going to go through and do an inventory of the plants, inventory of the hydrology of the soil, the water, the permeability and everything. And as they start to draw water, they come back and they check this site on a regular basis to make sure that nothing changes. And with same plants, same hydrology, same everything. So that's what's going to start. I haven't gotten the hard date as to when they're going to go put that plot in, and I have not been up there in the last week, so I don't know if it may already be in. I just don't know. But, yes,
Who
Jay?
oversees that project? MVD or
That's their well, right?
are they the ones that are going to do the mapping of the little plots?
We're only there's only going to be one plot put into Greater Woods,
Oh, just one. Okay.
and they're doing some other plots, I think, in Mitchell Woods
They
itself.
are. Yeah, it's Mitchell
And
Woods, yeah.
that's again, that's going to be part of.
Who does that?
Well, that's going to be MVD that oversees that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it'll be their engineering firm that does it.
Right.
Okay.
This will be the first time that they actually draw from this well in Mitchell Woods.
Yes. Yeah. There's a number of test wells out there now.
Yeah. Maybe you
Yeah.
showed it.
Yeah. There's a number of test wells out there now. It's actually a very interesting parcel just to go walk around. There's some interesting things that have happened out there, and you can see it in the trees, and it's kind of cool. And that's also where we have one of the beaver water levelers, is at the end of that pond. That's at the end of that Madison, that Powell Brook that comes from behind the school and under the road and behind me and behind Madison and empties out into that swamp. So that's where that first beaver leveler is, the water leveler's out there. So
I'm good. I think you handled it right. Because you're right, we're going to know about it.
yeah, we're gonna hear about it. Especially to see the orange tape blowing in the wind out there. So, all right. Does anyone else have any new business they want to bring up? No? Okay. Subcommittee updates. Cindy, you want to go?
Yes, I have my list of questions.
Yeah.
So, as far as, well, I'll start here. The Spalding Foundation, remember the Boy Scout did the project there, and it looks nice. He wasn't able to get the plaque finished, so Peter was willing to take that over, but we didn't know if the wording had to be approved by the MCC. He was going to contact Anita from the Heritage Commission for advice on the wording, but is that something that the subcommittee can handle, or do I need to bring the wording here for a vote?
So let me add to that.
Okay.
So Peter reached out to me last week,
Oh, okay.
and Anita, and the two of them and I have been exchanging email back and forth I figured we were going to have the meeting tonight, so I'm
Yep.
happy to share the email chain with you folks. But it was just questions like that.
Okay.
And I said, I suggested that to Peter and Anita that they come up with some wording,
Mhm.
come up with a quote, and then we'll bring it back here and we'll do the approval for that. So,
Oh, okay. Right.
and the
cost.
approval is mostly for the cost.
Mm.
I'm not sure we're going to argue whether it's a the or an a or a adjective here or something like that. So.
Right. Yeah.
So, because I think they know what they're doing. Anita's doing some research on the Spalding family and the different families that have lived in the area. She uncovered the fact that there's probably 2 Spalding foundations,
Oh.
but we're not aware of where the second one is. She was wondering if maybe the Fish and Game Club had it on their property. Was it on the Watonic property? Was it in our woods and we just haven't discovered it yet? Or is it somewhere underneath your house, because Old Kings Highway used to run right near your house, and now it's been developed over and it's been consumed by Queens Way or some other road that's out there. So we don't know, but she's looking around. I told her I have not encountered another foundation in the vicinity of Old Kings Highway myself, and I've been over a lot of that property years ago now. But when we were first putting Horse Hill together, we did a lot of work out there. So that's kind of what's going on. So that's a little bit more with where we're at. So I think at this point we're waiting for Anita to come up with some wording, because she wanted to locate it down to the exact family, because she knows from records that different families and who they were and whether they were a captain of a ship or whether what their profession was, because of the records that she has through either the Historical Society or the Heritage Commission. But now it's unclear which foundation we're marking. So now she says she might back it off and just make it a little bit more generic, so that until we know. So
If she has any idea potentially where the other foundation is,
Yeah, so-
let us know, because I mean, I walked the section of Old Kings Highway up behind,
Yeah.
you know,
Severn's Bridge.
Severn's Bridge
Yeah.
and Coles Rock Road, and there's a couple stone walls up there.
Yeah. I'll forward you the whole chain and I'll let you go through it. But I figured instead of just
She's got any,
it just-
hey, it may be
yeah,
in this area.
well, if you read through the email chain, you'll see it. So.
Well, that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, maybe you all know.
Because think about it, it could just be, right now, it could just be a depression, a small little depression in the soil you don't even know,
Could be.
you know?
Yeah, and I have not been over the Watonic property enough to know, because I tend to stay off private property.
Especially when
Switch,
we're-
assume there's
Yeah.
shooting things.
Right.
Yeah, that's a minor detail, right? It's better than the horseshoe fish and game side, because they're shooting with firearms.
That's right. Yeah. Right.
An arrow, I might be able to take an arrow. I'll take one for the commission. Just don't hit my only kidney, please.
Right, exactly. I know. We all have to get tested and see where to match.
There you go.
All right, so they can work up some wording and cost, and
Mhm.
and we can go from there. So the rock where we were intending to originally put it is still the intent.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were looking at the cost of moving that rock to where it's easier to do the work, or whether the people would come out to the rock and do the work.
They're not moving that rock.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
Size
Peter.
of a Volkswagen.
Pretty much what Peter said.
Yeah.
Pretty much what Peter said. Yes.
You
Yeah.
need the
You'll see it
Incredible
in the
Hulk
email
to
chain.
come out.
Yeah.
All right.
Apparently, for one other project, Public Works actually picked up a large boulder and carried it to a place that was more convenient to work.
Really?
Was it Gilmore Hill rock?
I don't know.
They fixed it to that rock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same method. I'm guessing they're
It's
gonna.
probably because there's no other rocks right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
You could drive to that one though.
I know, but you think of the rock in Gilmore Hill. It's by itself. It's there. Chunk, you know.
I have heard them brag about their collection of rocks, though.
Really?
Oh, well.
All right, keep going, Cindy.
Okay, so maintenance issues or questions. So speaking of the Spalding Foundation, I know we had talked a little while back about the town doing more maintenance work. Is there any chance, or is that too far out, that they could mow the Spalding Foundation area?
We should talk about that.
We certainly can see if we can. Did they mow the parking lot?
I think Newt was still mowing the parking lot.
Yeah.
I think he's still doing.
We supposed to, it's not Horse Hill, but we're supposed to get them to mow Greater Woods too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Wildcat Falls too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've done it. Sorry, I've been detained lately, so I haven't been out on Wildcat Falls.
As of last night, they did not mow Gateway.
So they're like scheduled to do it. It's on their, no.
I know they broke a mower early this spring and didn't have it repaired, so we're down to one. But I would think by now it should be running.
I have noticed they've done some of the edges of town roads near where I live recently over the last week or two.
I used to mow
Yeah.
Spalding
Until someone hated your mower.
Yeah, that's what we talked about.
Bad mower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's still unbelievable.
Well, so the question, since
So-
we have
so-
the Horse Hill bank account,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to get an update on how much was in that. And so the question was asked, can this money be used to purchase a motorized DRN, which I guess is a weed whacker?
a brush mower.
Brush mower.
Brush mower.
Okay.
I have one.
But it's not motorized.
There it is.
You can walk behind the thing.
What?
I offered it to them, and they didn't want to
Well-
push it. They wanted a self-propelled one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's going to store it?
Peter. Well, I don't know. I'm just volunteering him.
Yeah,
Or I will. I don't know.
I thought that money was supposed to be earmarked for.
Yeah.
No, I guess that's maintenance, but it's not. That's
Capital.
that's going to be that's not going to be a cheap item.
No.
Mm-hmm.
The maintenance is about as much on one of those things as they have in the fund
Yeah.
currently.
Yeah, so that's a expensive
It's
item.
not a practical
Mm-hmm.
investment for a subcommittee.
How often does it need to be whacked or cut?
I did it twice a year,
Yeah, I would say twice a year.
Is
but I
it-
just did it with a regular mower.
Is it something that you can rent from Home Depot or something twice a year? Would that make
So-
more sense?
So this makes sense to be a public works activity if we can coordinate with them,
Mm-hmm.
even if we have to fund it. Because they are the professionals.
Mhm.
They can bring a vehicle all the way down. They can bring a vehicle down Old
To the
Kings
foundation.
Highway, and they can get pretty close to the foundation, do the work, and get out of there. So,
Okay.
Okay.
right?
Oh, okay.
Because it's gated. It's a gated access. They have the
Oh,
keys to the
right.
gate. They can get in.
Okay.
They
'Cause
can
I was
get-
thinking there wasn't a way, but yeah.
They can get close.
Okay.
And they carry the insurance because it's the town. It's town employees. We don't have to worry about any of those things. Something bad happens to someone loses a foot. Ooh, scary.
Yeah,
Scary.
that is scary.
Sorry.
Thinking of anybody in particular?
Me?
No.
Yeah, scary, Matt, if you lose a foot.
I don't want to see a foot on the trails when I'm out there. Okay. No.
It's just a gnawed up shoe somewhere, right?
Yeah. Shut up, shoe. Yeah.
Lovely.
Like the new plaque.
Yeah.
To become a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend already. He's on the magazine. He's a
Oh, that's
legend.
right.
All right, so we can go back and talk to town again, see if we can include the Spalding
else they can
Foundation, see if
do.
we can get other mowing activities going out there.
Okay. And then as far as the skidder damage, we also were wondering if people could start doing cleanup from that.
So, I guess we kind of have to put this to bed. We have zero ability, I think, really, to go after this guy and do anything. There's wetlands violations. The DES came in and said, yeah, but without draining it and looking and seeing what that was run over, you know, we're gonna do more damage assessing, you know, a drive-through than what the damage was when you drove through it. We lost a bunch of trees, but they're tiny, small little trees that have no timber value. So the only thing we could use is a timber trespass. But again, there's no timber value. So it's just now become a trespassing. And there's no real ordinance to say no motorized vehicles. So
Yeah,
we're
it's unfortunate, but he's gonna get away with it.
Like, ask them to make a donation to the Horse Hill Fund?
yes, absolutely, we could.
It's a good idea.
We can, but how? But what? How much? And
50,000?
What's one of these motors?
Yeah, what's one of these mowers costed? Yeah, the motorized DNR. Maybe he could donate a
Yeah.
motorized
How about he has to
DNR.
mow it for a year
Yeah,
with
right.
his insurance?
Yeah.
I don't think we'd want that.
Yeah, right. We've
Yeah,
we've seen the way he goes.
Yeah, we've seen what he can do. So. Yeah, but don't forget. I mean, this is the same guy we had the problems with up on Greater Road.
Oh,
So I
that's
mean,
right.
we've seen exactly what he can do and what he does. So I'm, his services I don't need to have any more of.
Right, well, I was just gonna say, I mean, is there some way that we can suggest to town, I mean, because this was, what was it, the shooting place that had it? I'm trying to remember what this guy was working for, who this guy was working for.
He owns his
Tree.
own business.
He owns his own business.
But wasn't he doing,
Yeah, the Horseshoe Fishing Game Club.
okay, the fishing game?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, can't we basically say to fishing game, you might not want to use this guy again?
Oh, no, we don't want to talk to them.
We don't?
He's a member.
He's a member?
Yeah. This is the fishing game club. This isn't like the department of fishing game. This is a private
The Horseshoe
shooting club.
Fishing Game Club.
Yeah, it's
The
a
one that's
private.
off of
Greens
Greens
Pond
Pond.
Road.
Yeah. So they hired him to do something, and then he.
I think they would be unconcerned with what we have to say.
So they don't care. So they're just sitting there watching TV and
They
laughing
they
at
would
us.
be yeah, probably.
I think they would be concerned in a bad way
Mm.
if we bad-mouthed one of their members.
So we obviously this is sitting, it's in community development's lap, and there's what he wants to do. There's really not a whole lot for us to do, so it's going to be.
I'd say we should ask them to say we're not going to pursue any further action if they provide a $100 donation to the Horse Hill Nature Preserve Fund.
100?
Yep.
You're generous. I'd say 1,000.
No, I think it's the point.
Yes,
Oh.
I agree with you.
Nope, it's the point, and we're liable to get it.
So that's going to be my response to Tim Thompson.
What does Tim have to say about it? Did he say anything?
He's the community. Well, this is the community development is our only legal direction to go.
Okay.
So, anytime we have, we go through the police or anything like that, we always keep, that's kind of through community development.
Okay.
So,
Can we ban him from the property?
he was trespassing. What's going to stop him from doing it again?
Well, I mean, put a picture up with a line through it.
I think they don't care.
No, they don't.
Oh, no,
And
he's
They don't
gonna-
care.
they continue to get away with it. And
And basically, they'd sit there and say, we have our guns, what are you going to do about it? So,
So that's what we're going to do is $100 donation from
Yeah.
his company to the Horse Hill Fund.
Town of Merrimack, Horse Hill Nature Preserve.
So does that mean that I have to go to town council again and accept a gift? Or is this a fine?
Oh, it's a gift. Absolutely.
Thanks.
I think he should. That should be part of it. He should come and give it to the town. He should present it to you in front of the town council.
And apologize.
Yeah, and
On
apologize.
TV.
But he won't,
That's
because if
annoying
he's,
that you have
if
to
he's
go
the,
there for
the
that.
sort of person who's gonna do
Yeah.
something like that, he doesn't care and he won't. And they'll just sit there and have a good laugh over the beers and,
You don't have to go. Paul can handle that.
that's
You know,
frustrating.
Jackie
yeah.
will cover
The-
us,
the
right, Jackie?
subcommittee is
Sure.
very
See, there you
This is
go.
why we can't have nice
upset
things.
about this.
I'm gonna say, that wasn't bribery.
Yeah, right.
That wasn't demanding hush money.
Yeah, that's right.
Careful, you are on TV.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
By this time, I hope people are in bed.
It doesn't matter. They're watching it at 2 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning
they
on the
are.
reruns.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
And you know it.
Oh, they-
You know it. Yes.
All right, Cindy, anything else?
Oh, yes. Well, so is it okay then for them to start cleaning up? I mean, because like some of the trail where there was damage is getting overgrown now, and
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's
yeah,
gonna.
it's, yeah.
Yes, and thank them for that, please.
Okay.
Thank you
And
for their patience too. That's, this
Yeah.
has gone on longer than we needed it to be.
and someone did ask if there was an official report from Jeff Littleton that could be shared with the subcommittee,
I don't think he gave us an official.
or anything that he.
Yeah, well, I
provided?
mean, I can forward you the email he sent me. He said, that was, he walked the whole, because he walked it with Don, the Liberty.
Yeah.
And he said, this, again, he gets the same thing we got from DES. Yeah, he went through all these wetlands, but,
Can't
there's
prove
no
it.
way to really assess what kind of damage it went. You'd have to go and drain the wetland. Did he crush a turtle? Did he, what happened? And you'd have to basically drain the wetland to
Right.
find all that stuff out. And
Mhm.
so it's just not, it's not really worthwhile to do it.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have anything, you can
yeah,
pass on all.
I can,
pass it along.
Yep.
Um,
absolutely.
thank you. And then, did Wildcat Falls ever put in the dog waste receptacle? We continue to have problems with that, as I'm sure all of the properties
No.
do.
No, that's hopefully something we'll discuss tomorrow night.
Okay.
Parks and Rec did, though, over in Wasserman.
I did.
Oh, really? Ah. And do you know how that's going, or is it did it just happen?
I think they did it right since the get-go.
Part of the dog park, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's part of the dog park. Okay. Okay. And so, they would be emptying it, I take it.
That's a problem. Watson Park has one that we were
Yeah.
given by Pet's Choice when it opened, oh gosh, a long time ago. And I'm not sure who really empties it.
Oh.
So we
Parks and
did,
Rec does.
we talked about
Parks
these.
and Rec?
Yeah.
Andrew came before us and asked us about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he did some research. We had the cost of the bags and
Yep.
everything, and it's a reoccurring fee, which is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the other problem is the people that let their dogs just crap in the trail anyways.
Yep.
They're gonna pick up a bag, they're gonna pick it up, and they're gonna leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got dog waste in a contained vessel that won't decompose.
But that's out there now. I guess that's what they see a lot of.
We
and,
do,
and it's pretty
yeah.
close to
Yeah.
the front. They said when you first go in,
Yeah.
I don't know how many 100 feet in, it's
It's gonna be
dogs like to.
it's the first 20 yards
Okay.
of every trail.
Oh, yeah, right.
From any parking lot, the first 20 yards of every
Yeah.
trail.
Right.
Walk gingerly.
Right.
And it's too bad. It's not very hard to get your dog to go out.
The thing about Wildcat Falls that where it has a leg up on all of the other properties is there is a trash can there that is emptied.
Yeah, the
Greater Woods
DPW goes through and empties that. Trash can.
DP. Okay, I thought that they had one,
Yeah.
but I couldn't remember.
and
So
Watson
it's
Park
DPW
does too. That is taken care of by
Mhm. DPW.
DPW.
I guess when they empty the barrels.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what. They put the stuff in the bag and they put the bag in the barrel.
Yeah,
So when they do the barrels,
yeah, okay, yeah.
in Wildcat Falls, I don't see bags on the little stretch of Wildcat Falls because I think people no, there's a trash can. Horse Hill doesn't have a trash can at the kiosk. Greater Woods at the school doesn't have a trash can. So they leave the bags along the first, like you said, 50 yards of the trail, of the first trail going in. You don't see them way deep in the trails.
Yeah, but all those other properties have multiple entrances too. So
They have
Wildcat
what?
Falls, multiple entrances.
Oh, yeah.
Wildcat Falls has really one main entrance.
Yep.
I mean, people can get to it from other places, but there's one main entrance, so there's one place to go. Where do we put the barrel at Horse Hill? Where do we put the barrel at Greater Woods? Which?
Well, I think Amherst is the main trail that people go in.
Yeah.
Especially the dog walkers.
Yeah, the dog walkers especially.
Yeah.
Amherst,
And
but
the school would be, right, place to put it on Greater Woods.
Likely.
You'd have to speak to the school department.
Get the school involved in that, which yeah, well, no, that's fine. It's a very easy
Yeah.
thing to do, but
And they might be in charge of that trash.
yeah, I just that barrel's going to get full all the time
Who knows what, yeah.
with people's trash.
One thing about having none is that people are either going to do what they do now, leave it, and just let their dog go where they want, or bring it home, like most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
what they should do.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Just bring it home. Because it gets to be unwieldy, I think, for the town to handle all that dog waste.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a subject that I don't know. You can just come up with all sorts of puns, I guess. On it's a crappy subject.
Yeah.
I don't. There's no. I can't come up with a good answer for it.
Okay.
I mean, there's a couple. I'm thinking there's a couple of places in Manchester. I know they've got the bag receptacles. They're empty. They're empty all the time.
Oh, really?
They come and they fill them, and they're empty like a day later.
Yeah.
So, I need some of these, and people. It's like napkins.
Oh,
They
they
just,
take them
yeah,
off.
yeah, it's like-
Oh.
so
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw that at Mines Falls years ago. I don't know if they still have one or not, but
Yeah.
look into that. Okay. Excuse me.
I was going to say, I'm not sure what the barrel situation is at Wildcat Falls, for example, but anywhere where there's not already a barrel, we don't want to introduce another thing for the DPW to clean out.
right. That's kind of what they told us, and so we were kind of surprised when because they put the barrel down there. I don't think they put the picnic table and the barrel down there. We didn't request it.
Yeah, barrel's been there for a long time now. It went away for a short time, but it's been back for years now.
Yeah.
I'd be curious whether it makes a good difference. Do you think it does?
I do.
Do
Yeah,
you?
people.
I can tell you it
People
definitely
use the
does.
barrel.
People use it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Definitely does. You never see bags on the entrance to Wildcat Falls.
Yeah.
Never.
Mhm.
Every time you go into Greater Woods from the school or Horse Hill from the Amherst Road lot, there are bags.
Yes, I've
Every
seen them,
time.
yes, I have.
And even Wasserman from the resident lot, there's a trash can there at the top of the hill, the beginning of Quarry Trail. Never see bags there either.
Okay, good.
This is, it's been a long time since I've had a dog, and when I did have a dog, it was a little 10-pound thing, but, I mean, dog poop is a natural substance that should decompose over time, so I understand picking stuff up off the trail, but what's so awful about just like taking a stick and flicking it into the woods where people don't walk? That's really bad?
No, that's what people do. That's
Is that,
Some
sort
people
of the,
do that.
Yeah,
Not
that's sort
everyone.
of the preferred.
that's what I would think, because who wants dog poop in a plastic bag that's now going to sit there in a plastic bag for 100 years?
That's true. My quarrel with the whole thing is that they don't flick it into the woods or gather it up, and it's
Right.
all accumulated on either side of the trail. It's so unsightly.
Yeah. I mean, what if, like, when you've got the sticks, put some sticks by the front so people can take a stick and flick it. I don't know.
So,
Which side of the stick do you pick up?
Oh.
Well, when you're done with the stick, throw it in the woods.
And there's sticks everywhere. If, the people
Yeah.
that do that, if they're gonna do it, there's
Yeah.
sticks everywhere. I mean, it's
So-
that was my
Just,
dog.
Okay.
it seems like we're making more of it than it needs to be. If people were just, I mean,
Use common
If
sense.
people
Yeah.
wouldn't, if people wouldn't be jerks,
Yes.
that's true. We wouldn't have to talk about this, so.
So the other concern is that people will throw it into a wetland,
okay, all right.
and then that causes other issues to the wetland. So, or the runoff will run straight into a wetland.
Yeah.
Now you're creating other issues. And inside, those feces could be medications that the dog has had,
Parasites.
and lots of other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay? And those medications could cause all kinds of issues in that wetland.
Mm.
Because nowadays, people feed their animals all kinds of medications, whether it be for epilepsy, or be for this or that, or heartworms, or whatever else. So,
Okay, so it's not really that natural.
not anymore,
No.
maybe 100 years ago.
And they say not to put it in your regular compost, your garbage compost.
Correct?
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my one of my friends, I found out at her town actually has a compost for cat waste.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I wish ours did, but
I should compost my guinea pig's waste.
yeah.
'Cause it's all vegetable.
Oh, that's true.
I have a fly up here saying hello to me. Hello, fly.
Oh, like, I know,
on
I
my
know
mind.
what you're
All right,
cooking.
Cindy, you got anything else?
Yes. So the beavers have been busy by the Bradish Bridge area that we've talked about before. So the question was asked if the Beaver Solutions could review the situation again.
Has the topography changed?
I'm not sure. I have not been out there in a while.
Being a
I mean, I think things have been built up more.
I was being a smartass.
Oh, okay.
That stream it's in a little valley. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere we put a leveler in, they can go 10 feet beyond it and just build another one.
Cause the whole problem all over
Yeah,
again.
and so it's just not,
Yeah, and then we'll spend another $1,300 and they'll go 20
Yeah.
feet, and we'll spend another $1,300 and they'll go 20 feet.
yeah, it's just not, it's,
It's not a location that
Yeah.
fits that solution.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and, we were told it's just gonna take some active management on our parts, is, taking those dams down.
Mm.
Or eliminating the trail and going on a different route.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were there before us.
Right, exactly. I agree. I know, right? Mm-hmm.
They have made in that area. There's nothing left. There are no trees, and it looks like there's trails everywhere because the beavers are making trails
The dragging.
up either side. So people are getting off the trail and into their
Following the beaver
Trails.
trails? Oh, jeez.
because it looks more like a trail than the actual trail.
Wow.
Because they're dragging stuff across the trail and leaving it sometimes.
Yep.
So it almost looks like the trail doesn't exist. So people are literally following where the beavers
We
go.
could make a horror movie out of that. People start disappearing, we'll know where to look.
Yeah, in the hut.
Then we go back to the severed foot, right? It ties in.
The Aragog of beavers.
The trick is to train them so that they can do the work for us, so.
But as we know, in 5 or 6 years, it'll subside on its own.
Right.
We'll have 8 to 10 years of bliss, and then it'll come back again once the food source comes back.
Yeah, there's almost nothing left for
Right.
them to eat. They're going.
Yeah.
Their cycle is
On the
right.
hill.
Their cycle is going to end soon, and then they'll move on. It's happened before. That whole sand pit in Horse Hill was completely underwater about 8 years ago.
That's right, yeah.
Then the beavers moved on, and the sand pit dried out, and we get sand pit again.
Right.
It's just
That
a
was
cycle.
That was a great skating rink, too.
Oh.
Yes.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I hope they don't move on, though, from that upper pond. There's a lot of water up there. If they move on and that dam, let's go.
Yep, that's exactly what happened behind the school.
I remember, yeah. Remember
Exactly what
that.
happened
So
behind the school.
we want them to stay up there.
Okay.
But I'll send them a note.
Okay. You'll have to feed them.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'll be bringing in trees.
Don't tell her that.
See what she's doing to the bears.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
A yard full of bears.
I do not.
Hanging out bird feeders in other people's yard.
Just one. What did you say? Yeah.
All right, what else, Cindy?
Okay, believe that is it. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but it's not on my list, so.
They'll remind you if you do.
Yeah, yes, well, okay. Thank you.
Grader?
Greater Woods, man.
I'll go
Fire
quick.
away.
Sorry, Summit Hill, Summit
Oh.
Trail?
Yep,
Oh,
it's
Thank
on there,
you.
sorry.
see, I knew I was
Right.
forgetting something. So, I passed along, what the decision was, and that we, if anyone can find other ways to get, up to that point, alternatives, to keep their eyes out. I guess nothing's gonna be built anyway until like the fall area. Like we wouldn't be building a trail until then, right? Closer to the fall.
I don't think there's any time frame
Mhm.
or restriction.
Right, well, or that
Yeah,
was
it's just a
more
matter when the work crew and when people are
Mhm.
available to do it.
I didn't know if,
I didn't know if anyone was actively working it, though.
I've not heard one other way, I've not seen it, certainly, didn't see anything look like it was built, but that was a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
Last time I was out there, somebody removed the flags.
Oh,
All of them?
Most of them.
oh, jeez.
So
Hmm.
very, very helpful.
Oh, jeez.
It's all right, it's GPS'd.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I've GPS'd it too. So,
So Peter was gonna reach out to you.
The only thing I heard was the mower that he wanted.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't, not, because he figured you weren't gonna do it right now, but, in a little while to work on building it. I mean, I asked if people could help, and I think there's still a concern about the width, but,
We'll let the snowmobile club
he's not worried at all about
go
that,
assist with the building.
yeah. I don't think that there's
Well-
any worry about that, those type of,
Yeah.
that.
The biggest concern was really the elevation.
Right.
That's where we're gonna run into problems, because, we know what a straight trail up a hill like that looks like, and it's gonna look like in a couple of years. So,
Right.
because we already have one.
Yeah.
And, to make that trail
Mm-hmm.
hardened and sustainable, it's gonna have to switch back.
Right.
That's way up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And if
that's
it's
what I'm saying.
too wide, it is just gonna be one big.
Well, it's the thing, you
Instead of-
just don't have that kind of space to make a turn wide enough for that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, when we render that decision, part of it was, we need to find another,
Right.
we need to make sure there's another clear route to get there,
Mhm.
that's gonna be for, cross-country skiers and horseback riders
Right.
and snowmobiles and things that don't have a
Mhm.
more of a tight turning radius.
Right.
So. Okay.
yeah, I would prefer we didn't start on something until we knew that we had a route that would accommodate the uses.
Yeah.
We just live with what we have for the time being. So,
So, how would that work? What use is going to go build a double wide trail?
what use?
What user group?
I'm not sure it would be a user group. I would suspect that it's gonna have to be, an affiliation, if you wanna call it that.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, it might just be the route to get from, this post to the summit is gonna be, this is the route, not the trail the summit trail. So it may mean people, you gotta change where you're going.
Well, we already approved a portion of the
Right.
Summit Trail.
Right.
Right? But to actually install it, we should install it for the multi-uses. If that means we've gotta start doing a recruiting session to get enough people to do that, then that's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah.
But right now, I don't see value in having a skinny little trail that goes through, and the one that we want to discontinue, but we don't discontinue because we don't have something that supports all the uses.
Well, okay, we voted on that.
Correct.
And we voted in the packet that part of this is gonna be that there's gonna have to be an alternate route found to get the wider uses up that hill. So we voted to approve this, the single track or the smaller trail.
We didn't, I'm sorry, then I misunderstood, because I thought we approved the location of the trail, but we didn't approve that it was gonna be a single wide. I thought we were going to make the trail to accommodate the multi-uses.
I think we have to find another way up the hill to accommodate the water uses. Cause that elevation and the rise and the run is that just not gonna support the turns necessary to get up that hill.
No,
And
not
not
in
have a
the way
trail
we
that
laid
looks
it out.
like Rocky Trail now, or it looks like the Stemmet Trail now.
I guess we really didn't talk about the other uses at the time that
Well,
we
I-
approved it, or, I mean, we didn't,
Okay, I thought I tried to make that pretty clear, that we were.
Yeah, I think we did.
I thought we made that pretty clear, it's like, this is a multi-use trail, it's just that it's not gonna be every use. Because we need to find another way up that hill for the snowmobiles and for horses, I mean, for things that do require more berth and a greater turning radius. Cause they just can't get up that hill, that steep of a hill, on a straight trail.
And
We're gonna end up right back with the same trail that's there now, the summer trail that's there now.
And there is a solution. If a snowmobile or a horse wants to get up to the summit, they can come in from the power lines and go down East Slope.
Yeah.
If the summit is the desired destination,
Well, that's what I wanna make sure we do, is like, that you can't close off a part of it just because of the trail has to get rebuilt. So I wanna make sure we get from point A to point B, we still have a way to get from point A to point B, regardless of what the trail is where. Cause we did because I'm not gonna be able to say this right, is it the master plan or the definitive plan? Which one specifies what that trail use was for? Remember?
So it's, the definitive plan has it in, the routes, the master plan was generic. The
Okay.
definitive plan was much more specific, or definitive, if you
Right.
will. Okay.
Okay. We can find it in the notes and make sure we were all in agreement on that, because I
Yeah.
think we were. I thought we were, but, okay.
Well, I guess for horses, there has to be like a huge clearance on the top.
Yeah.
Say two, and I don't know if that's
Yeah,
possible.
you kind of almost want that anyways for winter clearance for people on snowshoes.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a big winter for a couple of years now, but you get 2 or 3 feet of snow, you're gonna be 2 or 3 feet higher on the
Mm.
trail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you definitely, you gotta be thinking not just 6 feet of clearance, you gotta be
Right.
thinking 8, 9 feet of clearance.
Yeah.
And for a horse, probably a little bit more than that, so. But you certainly wanna start higher than that when you first put it in, because nature will grow down anyways, so.
The minute you trim all those branches back, it's like a little pruning.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's easier to maintain once you've done the first cut than it is to try and.
Mhm.
All right, so there's still some work needs to be done on Summit Trail. Okay. Anything else for Horse Hill? All right. You wanna get into Greater Woods?
yeah, the biggest thing I think is mowing Gateway.
Okay.
It's really tight. Also, we completed the Outlook Trail. It's been cut, blazed, and signed. So it now connects you into the Amherst Greater Woods Trail
Okay.
and the view of the Wapak Range. And it comes down into Silverfish Trail.
You can still get to it off the Greater Road by the Amherst parking lot?
That's where,
That's
if you take Silverfish out,
okay.
you'll end up there. And if you take the Amherst Trail out the other way, you'll end up there. So it sort of begins and ends.
nice loop.
Oh, you been? Yeah.
Yeah, not since you finished it, but I've looped that a number of times, yeah.
I think a lot of people are using that now as the loop, parking at that Amherst lot, and walking that.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to go there and look.
Yesterday, and I don't think I exaggerate when I say we saw 10 or 15 bicyclists. It's perfect for them.
Did you go up to the Wapak View?
Hmm?
Did you go up to the Wapak View?
No, I don't know where that is.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's definitely should be a destination.
Mm.
It's a beautiful spot.
You know the parking lot on Greater Road?
Yep.
Okay, and then there's a field off to the right before by the house?
Yep.
Well, there's a trail and the Amherst Trail goes along and crosses that field, and then goes in and takes a left and goes
Oh,
up.
it crosses the field.
It crosses the field and it goes through the woods and takes a left and goes up the hill to this view. And Matt has cut a trail from the other side using that, what's the name of the trail? Silverfish. And you can make a loop, and that brings you right back close to the house.
My gosh.
And you can go right back to the parking lot.
Okay.
Probably about 45 minutes.
Is that going
Yeah,
to be
but
on
if
the
you're
map?
gonna stop at the view, yeah. I mean, if you just were booking it, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Is there a map? Will the map show that?
Yes.
The Armour side?
That's why I hurried up to build it, because I knew it was going to be on the map.
Oh. Good. We'll try that.
All right,
There's a sign showing the peaks.
keep going. All right,
Oh,
so
I think
Um,
that'll be lovely.
We've done a little bit more signage out there just to sort of establish some of the boundaries and keep people on the trails that they're supposed to be on. We remarked a couple of trails with the blazes. A lot of wildlife. I saw a moose and quite a few deer out there this weekend. It's a very large moose.
I haven't seen a moose in years in Greater
No.
Woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
It's,
seen, I haven't seen this moose, but I've seen some striping, and it's got to be 9-10 foot up a tree.
Yeah.
So I
He
mean,
was-
they're,
So you think
there's
it's
something
a buck.
big.
It's got antlers.
No, he's striping. He's doing some
Oh.
his teeth.
Oh.
Is there hunting in Greater Woods?
Yeah.
I'll cover that in commissioner comments, but
Yeah, he's got the velvet now. The
The antlers, yeah.
the antlers are all furry. And when I saw him, he was in the swamp, but higher than eye level.
he needs to leave. He needs to leave. Did you guys read the article about the woman that won the moose lottery?
No.
Because she read on social media that there was a moose in Merrimack, and she's like, that's where I'm going to start. So remember when you guys said to me, we don't want to do a map because people will use it for hunting? She's going to use it for hunting.
Yeah.
So I hope that moose leaves, or it's going to be dead moose.
I'll let him know next time I see him.
It's just, oh my God.
He's got
It's
a-
like you can't say anything
Probably
anymore
will
because
anyway.
people use it. So the most innocent of comments, because people around Merrimack Outdoors like, look at this pretty deer. And then you've got the hunters going, yeah, now I
Yeah.
know where to look.
Yeah. And the same with snakes, evidently.
Oh.
Yep.
Anyway,
You heard about the bear yesterday.
He probably will leave.
Wasserman Park,
That's all I have for
the kid and the parents.
Grader.
Okay. Did you heard from Nat regarding the classroom rebuild project at all? Do we know what's going on with that?
I have not. I believe the scout's just waiting for his fundraising. He's
Okay.
gone through. He came through us.
Yep.
And then he went to town council. So I think he's just waiting for his fundraising. No updates. I had another scout reach out to me looking for something to do, but when I replied, I didn't hear anything back.
So
What about the Girl Scouts?
the Girl Scouts. So we've been in touch with the Girl Scouts, and they're going to start working on retreading for the bridges. They're on the school property. They're going to start with the ball field bridge. They're going to go in and do the Brickyard Bridge.
I would need to-
Then and it's again, they've never done this before. This is a new foray for them, so we're going to see how far they can get. But it's going to be ball field, the Brickyard, Link, and then if there's time, they're going to try to go down and get the Ridge Bridge.
So retreading, you mean like the cross pieces you walk on?
Yes, yeah, that's untouched spruce that was cut during the logs and lumber. We've replaced a few on the Brickyard Bridge. We've replaced a few on the Link Bridge. Nothing's been done to the ridge, and it's getting pretty bad shape.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Good.
it's starting to the treads are starting to be pretty bad.
I'd like to redo that one completely and put it closer to the ground.
Okay.
If they don't do it.
They're not. They're just retreading it. They're just going to retread the existing bridge, and that's the biggest of the four. The ball field is the smallest. The school was doing some work on that, and they replaced a couple treads on the end with regular PT lumber, and that's what the Girl Scouts are going to do. Is they're going to be using just regular PT lumber and retreading the tops. So they're working right now, and Gina and I are kind of their go-betweens for questions and answers and access or whatever issues they have. So it's in motion right now. We're waiting to see when they're going to start.
Okay, I'm waiting for them to get in touch with me so I can sign off, but you've actually been the go-between. I'm just kind of jumping in now, so.
So there's that, and there's also we took the remaining lumber for the bridge going to the classroom off of Bambi Lane, and we've cut Steve Bash and cut them all down to 36. So we have some of that lumber already set up. We're going to have to go, have a project set up and ask for some money to do that and finish it up, because it's going to be pretty short money with all the stuff we have left over from the original build. So
Cool.
questions? I think that's it for Greater Woods. Okay. You have anything for Wildcat?
Yep, haven't met in a couple of months. Was some field work done. They have some questions that they want to bring up tomorrow night about some erosion concerns and a potential bench and stuff like that. So I'll report back next time we meet. So.
Are we going to try to standardize on the bench that the Scouts put in there behind the school? That's the one that seems to be everyone likes.
Well, that's what we used in Wildcat Falls.
Right, Wildcat Falls, yeah.
We didn't follow the same colors, but it's the same design.
Okay. Does anyone have a kind of a general print of that, like how it goes together?
We can ask tomorrow for what the
If someone has one, just because
Laverne Foundation did, because they drew up plans for it. Because I tried to get it from the Scout. I asked his dad to help me get it, and we went around and around, and all great intentions, and then the time ran out, and the Wildcat Falls need to get built, so they went out, snapped pictures of it, and created their own plans from.
Yeah, if we could get it doesn't have to be super accurate, just a kind of a general.
Yeah.
So we can have a base model of here's the bridges we like. I mean.
Yeah.
I guess we don't really know how well it's going to last, but that can morph as time goes on.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Any subcommittees? All right. You want to get into the minutes?
I move to accept the Merrimack Conservation Commission minutes of June 19th, 2017, with changes as follows.
Second?
Okay.
I only found one thing, and I don't even know if it's a thing. On page 4, line 1, which forced the town to, it says, which forced the town to sewer in. Is sewer a verb? I would say which forced the town to add sewer in a lot of places.
I would think that's probably correct.
Okay. And that's all I found.
Cindy?
Yeah, I didn't find anything. I read it
Okay.
through. I didn't find anything.
All right. Does anybody else have any changes, additions, corrections?
No, I didn't get through them all.
Do we want
I read different pieces, but I'm
do
happy
we-
to.
Do we want to table them?
I read them
I read it
carefully.
through.
You read them carefully?
I read them very carefully.
Okay. So, we're gonna press forward? All right, so, all right, all the comments, that was it, did Genus? If we're good with them? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Cindy's abstaining? Okay. So that passes 6-0-1. Cindy abstaining? Okay. Public comment, seeing no members of the public, we can cross that off. Commissioner comments? Matt, nothing? Tim?
Just something quick. I'm not going to get into the particulars, but I'm in the process of moving. But I will maintain my residency in Merrimack throughout the entire period. So,
Good.
so therefore, I should remain eligible to be an alternate member of the commission.
That it?
That's it.
Jackie? No comments? Gina? Nothing?
No comment?
No? Okay. I don't have any either, so.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's 7-0-0.
That was fast.
Yeah.